Hey guys, this is Jason Douglas.
Zada MacArthur, voice of Yuji Itadori.
This is Derek Snow, the voice of Shinra Kusakabe.
This is Phil Parsons, voice of Kenny the Ripper Ackerman.
It's a Merc new one. You're watching Voice of the Heroes. Take it away, Fleeboy.
What's good, everybody? You already know who it is and what it is. And if you don't, it's the one and only one, Fleeboy Jetson. And if you're tuning in for the first time, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, click that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming interviews or discussions from your favorite heroes and villains. And before we get started with today's episode, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors, G Fuel and Into the AM. Make sure you use promo code Fleeboy to get, a nice little percentage off. Now, I'm not even going to lie to y'all. Today, we got a guest. She is one of one. And everybody knows Power Rangers is a multi-generational global phenomenon. From the first It's Morphin Time to countless battles against evil, Power Rangers have been a symbol of hope and friendship. It reminds us that strength isn't just about fighting monsters. It's about standing together and uplifting each other and never giving up when the world needs you most. And our guest today has ushered in those qualities through the decades of carrying on the legacy of the Yellow Zeo and Turbo Ranger Tanya. She has also provided her talents in shows like Moesha, Nash Bridges, Bones, voice acting in all over the Barbie franchise. My God, has even written and produced Class Dismissed, the movie, which you can stream right now on Peacock, Amazon Prime, and Tubi. She's also a CEO, writer, voice actress, producer, and co-host of Power Rangers Playback. Let's welcome Nakia Burrise to the show. How you doing today?
Wow, I love that introduction. Thank you so much. That was so sweet.
Well, you deserve it. This podcast and this platform is to give you, your flowers for all the work that you put in over the years and to recognize you as a staple in the Power Rangers community. You are, like I said, one of one to me and so many others. And man, just an icon in your own right. Now, we don't have Tanya for too much. Well, Nakia, excuse me, for too much time. So we're going to get right into it. Now, cons have become a huge thing, right? With Rangers Stop and Pop and Morphin Con and things like that. I want to ask you, right? What has been like your favorite city or country to travel to?
Wow, that's great. Yeah, conventions have become really big. And I don't know if you knew or not, but I did own a convention that we just sold this year. Ranger Stop and Pop was
No way, you sold it?
yes, a convention that Karen Ashley, myself, and Michael Bioni owned for 7 years, and decided to sell just because we have so many other things that we're doing. And running a convention does take a lot of time. But yes, so I would definitely say that my own convention was definitely a lot of fun in Atlanta. But in addition to that, I would say traveling wise, of course, I loved traveling to Europe. We did MCM, Kat and I, we were able to be there for our 40th birthday. We were actually there with Jason David Frank. That was 2019. And then we also got a chance to go to Scotland, did a convention in Scotland. So I would say the overseas cons have just been amazing because we get a chance to get out of the state of, the United States of America and get to explore in other countries. So those have been really great. But in state, there's a lot of really, really great cons. I don't know that I can specifically point out one in particular, but I've most of them that I've gone to have been really, really fun.
That's fantastic. So Europe must be where it's at. Now, Tanya in the Power Rangers show, right? She has you have amazing singing talent. And did you ever get to, put in any input into that or write any of the songs?
That's funny that you asked. They actually had Tanya sing. So the producers had come into my dressing room and literally asked me, what are some of my hobbies? What do I do? And then they heard me singing in my dressing room. So that's why they made a couple of episodes of me singing. I didn't come up with the songs. I just went to they had written, because obviously they would have to give me rights to the songs if I was to write it. So no, we had writers who wrote the songs and produced them, the ones that I ended up singing inside of a song sung Yellow. So no, they just heard me singing and said, we're going to make an episode or two of her singing. And the Rangers in the Outfield, they found out that I played baseball with the boys, so they made the episode Rangers in the Outfield and so forth. So yeah, I was really blessed that they would take my hobbies, what Nakia actually does in real life, and implement them into my character. That was really great.
That's amazing. Hey, I gotta give them their credit for that. You know, Power Rangers, especially in the '90s and going into the early 2000s, got a lot of slack for the production and things like that, how things was ran. But I gotta give them their credit for the way they did your character, man. They did justice on that one. Now, Power Rangers is known for friendship and diversity. What moments of that type of representation on the show meant the most to you personally?
I think when I was on the show, I didn't really take it all in and understand how prevalent, relevant, and how much it really spoke to its audience until I started doing conventions. And so when I started doing signings and fans would come to me and tell me how much Power Rangers meant to them, how much standing up to a bully I did inside of an episode, what that meant to them, seeing a person of color that represented them made them feel like they could do anything that they possibly could. They see, oh, Nakia can do it, I can do it too. So friendship, diversity, all of the themes that Power Rangers represented, I think was just before its time to see superheroes and seeing people that look like you. I think in the 90s it wasn't as relevant and it wasn't seen as often. So Power Rangers really, really did an amazing job with making that an option for little kids, little brown kids. Um, Little Asian kids, little, Hispanic kids. Like it's amazing that there were so many things that I didn't realize when I was on the show that Power Rangers had done for so many people. And that's one thing that I love about comic conventions because I get to hear these amazing stories, and I've cried with so many fans. I hear about me being inside of we were as Power Rangers inside of hospital rooms with so many people while they're having surgery. Like we helped them get through their surgery. We helped them get through their illness. We helped them stand up to their bullies. We help so many things. It's a blessing to be a part of the franchise.
Yeah, just hearing you talk gave me chills, man, because the amount of love and just that y'all put into the community as well. Like y'all are one of the few franchises that actually give back to their community and really show up for your fans. And I gotta commend you for that and every other ranger that actually, not is just an actor, but really dives deep into their community. Now, I do want to talk about the franchise moving forward, right? So I want to talk about the Disney Plus Power Rangers reboot, which will be filming, in London, January 2026. And some reports and rumors suggest that, this will probably be the biggest budget the franchise has ever seen, with episodes costing about 12 to $15 million. And the showrunners will be Jonathan Steinberg and Dan Schatz. For those who don't know, right now they're working on Percy Jackson and the Olympians on Disney Plus. What was your first reaction when hearing about the reboot?
Well, you just gave me more information than I've actually had.
Oh,
So I think it's a blessing that the franchise continues because it lets the world know how important Power Rangers is. Like the fact that this show aired in 1993 and continued on for 30 some odd years. The Super Sentai in Japan, I don't even know how long, maybe 50 years. I think it might even still be going. And the fact that it's being brought back, I think it's extraordinary. I'm looking forward to see who the cast is going to be and what the plans are for the franchise. I think it's amazing.
I'm looking forward to see what y'all do on Power Rangers Playback. I want to see some reaction videos to the new episodes and stuff, man. If y'all been living under a rock, man, and y'all haven't seen Kat and Nakia's Power Rangers Playback podcast, link will be in the description. I'm pretty sure y'all have, man. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so much to talk about, but we got so little time. So I want to ask you another question about the reboot, right? What do
Okay.
you think will, from a business standpoint, right? What do you think will be the best course of action? Rebooting the Mighty Morphin original team or going with a whole new team? Because, like I said, this is probably going to be one of the biggest budgets we've seen, 100 and maybe $25 million put into this. So you think they're going to go with the safe bet with the Mighty Morphin? Because, whenever something comes out like Fortnite skins or comic books or something, it's always, no disrespect to the franchise, but it's always Mighty Morphin that gets the shine than any other team. So do you think they're going to go with the safe route, or you think they're going to take a chance with a new team? Or
I
what would
think
you do?
I think they are going to probably do Mighty Morphin. I appreciate finally we're going to have Zeo Funko Pops in 2026 because I go to conventions and I have to get them custom made. I have to get pops custom made because there's nothing but MMPR. MMPR has multiple Funko Pops, every iteration, puzzles. Like there's so much Mighty Morphin. But that's where it started. It started in Mighty Morphin. So I have to respect that and understand that. But there were so many more seasons, you know.
It
Um,
is.
yeah, so many more seasons. So, I would assume that they're probably going to start with Mighty Morphin. I would think that they need to listen to what the fans want as well. And the fans are going to want some kind of nostalgia. They're going to want some original actors coming back. And I felt like that's what was missing. One of the things that was missing from the 2017 movie. Yes, JDF and Amy Jo were on screen for a whole 10 seconds with taking a photo in the 2017 movie. I think it would have been so much better and so much more relatable, and it would have brought so much more nostalgia if they would have incorporated some of the original cast. Some of us could have come back as teachers or some of their parents or something. Those cameos I think would have really, really brought the ratings up. So I'm hoping that they consider that for the reboot, that they bring some of the original characters back, some of the original cast, and not just for Mighty Morphin. Zeo would be great. I've actually never returned
I
to the
was just
show.
about to say that. It's time for Nakia to get some shine. Like, bring my homegirl back, man. Can we please see her in something? Because you're right. Of all the anniversaries that they done, crossovers, we never got to see a character come back. And that's really disappointing. How do you feel about that?
Oh, it's very hurtful. I can't pretend like it's not. It was very hurtful. My entire cast has been invited back multiple times, actually. And I remember the original, I think it was the 20-year anniversary. Um, I can't remember who owned it at the time. I don't think it had gone over to Hasbro yet, but um, everybody was invited back. They had sent out emails, feelers for everybody. And then they, made a choice from that, I guess, depending on what the Japanese footage was, who they were going to bring back. So yeah, it was very hurtful. I mean, I know that they brought my action figure in the once and always, but it wasn't me. Um, so yeah, it's hurtful, but life goes on. I mean, God has blessed me with, multiple projects since Power Rangers. But I am very grateful for Power Rangers because Power Rangers, even to this day, has allowed me to travel the world and meet extraordinary fans like you.
Hey, I love it, man. So, one more question about the reboot before we continue on and we pivot towards something else. What do you think will be key ingredients to not only this franchise becoming successful with the launch of the reboot, but also attracting new audience?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I think they would probably need to cast someone that is very relevant and popular in pop culture today. Someone that probably is younger and you know, brings in a crowd, has a huge following. I know that numbers have become a huge thing in acting now. I mean, even when I'm auditioning for projects or considered for projects, casting directors and producers look to see how big your following is. And so, influencers are getting movie deals because they have millions and millions of followers. So I think with this being the culture that it is today, I think that bringing in someone that has, some importance or has a huge audience will probably be something that they do, I would assume. And I'm hoping again that they would also bring in some original cast members
Yeah,
and not just from PR.
I think that will do justice. Even if it is cameos, right? I would
Mhm.
be happy for that because at least you pay respect to everybody who came before. And that's what Power Rangers is. Like it's always been about that. And I think everybody needs to get a chance. And being that you said that, right? I just thought of something. Hear me out, right? Let me know what you think. Because you said somebody who got a grip on pop culture. What about someone fan casting like for Kimberly, like a Millie Bobby Brown? Or she's like 22. They can get a I'm assuming this is gonna run for about 4 seasons, if it's a Disney Plus show, if it does well. If it doesn't, then I see like one or two maybe. But what do you think about that casting? You think she would make a good Kimberly?
Um, yes, but I think she's doing a lot of movies now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so I think that when you become a movie star, television may not be as interesting anymore. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I think she's an extraordinary talent. She made 11 like as awesome as possible. She is a quite popular character. Stranger Things is quite a popular show. So I think yeah, if they could get her, that would be really, really great. I'm sure a lot of people would watch if she was cast.
Yeah, man. I think we'll do good. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the podcast, right? Power Rangers playback. We had Kat on the podcast, and she told us how it came about. She told us the story. If y'all haven't seen that episode, please go and check it out, man. We got a whole playlist full of Power Ranger actors that came on here and told their stories. So make sure you check that out and go support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But I want to, so we know how the idea came about. What I want to ask, right, is if 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 this continues, right, the podcasting route for you, right? What do you think will elevate the podcast from a standpoint? Because I'm thinking like, okay, maybe I can learn something from you right now. How could you elevate a podcast that's already been elevated, if that makes sense?
So we have a podcast called Super Chat, and we have a YouTube channel called Power Rangers Playback. So our podcast had 2 seasons where we explored, our first season was we had multiple Power Rangers on there, and we were basically talking to them about life after Power Rangers. Because we wanted, fans to know that they've done more than just Power Rangers and what they're up to now. Our second season really encompassed heroes, real life superheroes. And so we talked a lot to nonprofit organizations, those that were over, trafficking. We've actually spoke to trafficking victims. Ray Fisher, who was in the DC movie. Why can I not think of what it is? He was cyborg. He was cyborg.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. Justice
yeah,
League.
Justice League. Thank you. And so that was we did 2 seasons of our podcast. Now our YouTube channel, Power Rangers Playback, has been just amazing. As Kat mentioned, we started it in 2020, right before the world shut down, and so it gave us a lot of opportunity to explore what we were going to do on our channel because our original idea, we kept getting, copyright issues from Hasbro and Toy Company in Japan for, putting in some of our episode footage. Um, but to elevate it, we'd love we're looking at sponsorships. We had never gone out looking for sponsorships before. We've opened it up to fans coming on and even interviewing, playing live games. We've done that once or twice on our podcast, and so we're just looking to with different ways to elevate. We have channel membership, and so our channel members actually give us so many great ideas, and we've implemented a lot of those. So we just want to listen to our fans and listen to our channel members and give them what they're asking for. And so that's kind of how we guide what we do and building an empire. That's the goal, building an empire.
Hey, I love that. And heroes, make sure y'all support. Go get that membership. Link will be in the description below, man. Please go support. Go, man. I can't beg y'all enough. Now, I want to ask you this question, right? For the Power Rangers playback. What was your most unexpected thing a Ranger revealed where it made you wait, what? Made you hit one of those?
Mm. Oh gosh.
Because you had some good ones. I seen some good episodes on there, man. Rest in peace, JDF episode was amazing. He even, I think one of y'all even had to leave and come back. That's
Yes.
real life,
Kat
like real
had to leave.
time.
Kat had
Yeah.
she had to go pick up her children, and I stayed there. We had so many questions coming in the super chat. Um, Gosh, I really have to think about all of the guests that we've had and things that they revealed. What was surprising for me that just came to my head when we had David Yost on and we were talking about Once and Always. He shared how Once and Always came about. I had no idea that the thought came from him. I had no idea that he was, part of um, his ideas and the writing and all of that birthed from him. So that was new for me and gave me the what now? Because that wasn't always like new projects like that coming from a Ranger and Hasbro actually listening. It was just that was amazing. I thought that was great. Um, I'd have to think about others, but that's the first one that could
Hey,
pop in.
that's good enough for me, man. I love it. Now, I do want to go back to the con situation, right? Are there any dream destinations? Because I ain't gonna lie, heroes, I kind of messed up. That question was in the beginning. We wasn't supposed to start the podcast off with that because now we're getting into the con segment. But hey, I'm a little nervous, heroes. Come on, I'm interviewing Nakia right now, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Are there any dream destinations, right, that you hope to visit for a con that you haven't been yet?
I would love to go to Ireland. I'd love to go to Paris again, but a different part of France. Excuse me. I'd like to go to France. I'd love to go to Paris too, but yes, France, Ireland, um, Singapore. We're in negotiations with that. So, yes, I love the out of country conventions because I get to see another part of the world, you know? And yeah, those that would be really, really great. Yay.
Hey, I'm here for it, man. Hey, I hope you come to Oklahoma, well, Tulsa, Oklahoma one day. I got to see Steve, he came out here. For those who don't know, that's the Red Ranger, Rocky. And he was also on the show as well. Wonderful guy, man. I got to see him and I came right with a Megazord Funko Pop, the Biddy joint, and it got damaged there. And he had one on his table. He was like, "Hey, I'll give you this one." And I was like, "You know what? Let's do it, man. Package it all up. I'll get this one signed, that one signed, pick everything. Let's do it all." So I love seeing y'all, but unfortunately, Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, really don't get too much support. And matter of fact, one of my friends went out to see you in Atlanta a couple of months ago and actually got something signed for me and my friend Ricky. And if you could, Nakia, please, can you say hi to Ricky real quick? He would go crazy.
Hi, Ricky. Hello, Ricky.
Hey, that's for you, Ricky, man. So, if you ever come out here, man, that would be amazing. I would love it. Cause
We did come to Tulsa.
oh, y'all did? I just moved out here from New York. So I'm a New York boy. So I moved to the country, with the wife and kids to, settle in. And it's a different life out here. I'm not even, it turned me into a complete introvert, but I'm getting used to it. I done create a podcast. I'm getting my stuff together. So, but man, it's not really much to do out here. So if you ever come back, let me know I'm there, man. I'm definitely there. Now we're gonna get into our universal question. Before we do, we got a giveaway happening. That's right, heroes, rangers. If you're watching, even villains, y'all are even included in this one as well. We have a giveaway. This is our recommendation segment. Now, Nakia is going to give us a recommendation that means something to her, whether it be a movie, a song, a show, woman of God. So it might be a script. Who knows what she's going to give us? Check out the recommendation. Leave a comment below. The more comments you leave, the better your chances are at winning. Now, keep in mind, heroes, I will never ask you for any shipping money, so don't get fooled in the comments. The giveaway will be a Nintendo Switch 2 or PlayStation 5, and I will announce it at the milestone of 5K. So, Nakia, let us know what's a recommendation that the hero should check out that means something to you.
Wow. The Bible.
Talk to him. Hey, we here for it. Talk to him.
So, a lot of people, even people that say that they're believers, do not know what BIBLE stands for. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. And how many people actually look at their basic instructions before leaving Earth, the Bible, to see what God says about them and how much He loves them?
That was deep because I didn't even know that. That was deep. I didn't even know that. I'm gonna keep it 100. So check it out, man. If it's a script, a song, whatever it is, man, leave it in the comments. And that is our recommendation for today's episode. Now we're gonna go to our universal questions. These are fun. We got two of them, right, Nakia? The first one is, who are your top 5 fictional characters of all time?
Okay, growing up, I was Wonder Woman.
Ooh, let's
Nobody,
go.
anything else, I would wear my underoos. People that are my age, they're going to understand what underoos were. They were basically for little kids, and they were underwear, but girls had like a little miniature bra and a little panties, but they were designed for superheroes. So I would put on my Wonder Woman underoos, and I'd whip out my belt, and I'd swing it around like it was a whip, and I was Wonder Woman. Nobody else. So Wonder Woman would be one of them. Um, my best friend Kat, we are absolute sisters. Um, Other fictional characters that I've enjoyed. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. Uh, she played multiple characters because I love funny. And after leaving Power Rangers, I've written a script that's out. That's a comedy. I've done a lot of sitcoms. So Carol Burnett, some of the roles that she's played in her sketch comedy, phenomenal. So I would use one of her, and I can't even think of any of her names. She just had so many. So she would be one. Cat. How many do I have to
Two
have?
more, two more. You got two more.
More fictional characters. I would say Erin's character in Time Force, who played what was Erin's character? Because she was basically a leader. I know her and Jason
Jen?
Bond back and forth. Jen, yes, Jen, all powerful Jen. I think she was pretty awesome. And one more, una más. Let me think. Let me think. Huh. Fictional character. Let's go with Black Widow.
Ooh, strong, strong, man. You got one DC, one Marvel, one Power Rangers. You got one from Sketch, and oh my God,
Two
what was
DC.
the other one?
Two DC.
Oh,
Wonder Woman.
two DC,
One. Oh no, no, you're right. Wonder Woman is DC. Marvel is Black Widow. Two Power Rangers, and
two
then
Power Rangers,
and
and the
then
sketch comedy.
yes.
Hey, I love it, man. You can't go wrong with it. Now, the next one is gonna get a little tougher because you only get 4, right? And this one is for strictly Power Rangers. Who are your Mount Rushmore of Power Rangers? And big shout out that you shouted out Tom Force. Heroes, stay tuned because right now we're currently in talks with Wes from Time Force, Jason Font. We're locking it in. I promise y'all, I'm gonna make it happen. So who would be your Mount Rushmore of Power Rangers?
It would be an all-female team,
Okay, woman power.
and
Talk that talk.
I would be the leader.
Let's
What
go.
happened?
Hey, which
Uh,
one, Turbo or Zeo?
Zeo, Zeo,
Ooh, okay.
and it would be Catherine, who played Cat. It would be
Which version of Cat?
so it would be her. It would be her Zeo version. Her Zeo version. It would be so 5. So
You got four. So you
Cat. Oh,
got two.
4.
Yeah, you got two. So you got two
Karen,
Zeos,
Aisha, who played
Mighty
Aisha. That's
Morphin.
3. And then I would do Katie from Time Force.
Hey, I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
So that's actually 3 yellow and 1 pink.
Hey, it's still cooking. I ain't even gonna lie. You cook with that. Now, before we let you go, I want to talk about you personally because, man, you have done some amazing things. I want to first get your question because it is called Voice of the Heroes, and I love Power Rangers to the core of me. I'm a huge Power Rangers fan, but I'm also big on voice acting. Tell us, how did you get into the voice acting lane? Because, man, you do a hell of a job, excuse me, in voice acting. Tell us, how did you get into that career?
Thank you. Well, Scott Page, who used to work at Power Rangers, God rest his soul, he passed away a few years ago. He used to do the ADR, the voiceover. He was the head over the voiceover for Saban. And then he eventually moved. He left after we had left the show. He had left several years later and start working at Mattel. And he called me in for auditions. I was just so blessed to be able to audition. He would give me pointers on what to do. And I ended up booking a couple roles. And then Barbie's Life in the Dream House came about, and they literally just offered me the role as Nikki, which I was so honored because, some of the other actors had to audition. To be offered a role is just really, really great. And I was not that experienced in voiceover except for my on Power Rangers when we had to do that. Um, so it was definitely Scott Page who introduced voiceover to me. And so from my character Nikki, I kept getting brought in for various Barbie roles, Barbie projects, and then Ann Knapp, who is now Ann Austin. She was also a writer on Power Rangers, one of the producers when I was there, and she start working for Mattel. And so she start calling me in because she start taking over some Barbie projects. And actually, she's going to be live on our YouTube channel this coming up Wednesday, talking about behind the scenes, what was happening in the writers' room, some ins and outs of people that, she's going to give some intel on some things that, even we didn't know that was
Mm.
happening when we
I'm
released
I'm
the
locked
show.
in. I'm tuning in for that.
Yeah, yeah. So she'll be there. So yes, it was Scott Page that introduced me to voiceover, and it's been a great ride. Really, really great ride.
Fantastic. Now, from voice acting, you jumped in and put your writer's hat on and in the producer seat, which, for those who don't know, Dismissed, I believe, is the name of the movie, right?
It's
Um,
well, that was my first movie, Class Dismissed. My
Class
recent movie
Dismissed.
is called Back to Bridgewood, and it's
Oh, you got a new
that
one out?
yeah, that was released in March. It's based off of the same characters from Class Dismissed. So it was actually written as a feature film. Class Dismissed was written as a web series that I had on YouTube from 2015 through 2017. And a distributor said if I could combine all of the episodes together into a movie, that they would distribute it. And so that's what I did with Class Dismissed. But Back to Bridgewood
Mm.
was written as a feature film and used the same characters from Class Dismissed, but with it's a comedy, it's a faith-based comedy. And actually Jason Font is in it, Serena Vincent is in it, but they don't play Rangers. Jason Font actually plays my doctor. And Serena Vincent plays like an entertainment host of similar to what would be like Entertainment Tonight host. Um, yes, yes, and yes,
Oh
and it's
man,
streaming
you're a
remotely.
woman of many talents. Let's go. I
Oh, thank
love it.
you.
Before we let you go, right? I gotta ask you, which I pretty much know the answer, but just to clear things up, right? Which helmet is do you cherish more, the Turbo or the Zeo?
Well, I cherish them both. I'll say that because Power Rangers has been, I know I use blessing a lot, the word blessing, but I use that a lot because it's real and it means a lot to me. Um, no one could have told me 30 years ago that I would still be talking about Power Rangers, traveling the world, and meeting extraordinary fans because of that show. So I have to say that both helmets mean so much to me. Um, I loved Zeo because obviously I didn't have to share my suit. I felt like Tanya had a lot of storylines that were based on her. I loved the design of the suit. Um, Turbo, I loved that we got to fight in civilian clothes. Zeo, I never fought in civilian clothes. Fighting was so fun. Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. And so Turbo, I loved that part. I loved the lights shine on the helmets in Turbo. Um, and that was my final season. So I will also cherish that. It was very heartbreaking to leave the show. Um, and we'll probably talk about that on Wednesday because Anne had a lot to do. She knew what was happening behind the scenes when he, when she knew what was happening, when we didn't know what was happening.
Oh,
Um,
so heroes, if you want that conversation to continue from here to there, link in the description. I promise I'll have it for you. But I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, 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 you're fine. So I appreciate both seasons very much so. Power Rangers has been a staple in so many lives, including mine. And so I'm very grateful, very grateful.
Well, Nakia, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I had a phenomenal time with you. I'm pretty sure y'all enjoyed the conversation. If you did, please leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. Let people know where to follow you at.
I have one more thing to say before I say the follow. I didn't speak about my current project that I'm working on.
Oh,
So
let's do it. Let's talk about it.
I am writing, I don't know if many of you know, I got an opportunity to write my own story in Across the Morphin Grid. And so it came out in November last year, and then they did a graphic novel where they included it inside of there. My co-writing partner, business partner, JD Sutphin, I got to answer what fans have been asking for so long, which was, where is Tanya? Where do you think Tanya is now, and what is she doing? So if you have not read Across the Morphin Grid, Tanya's Heavy Metal Rescue, please do because it talks about where it's an adventure story. There's so much action happening. You get to see where she is and who she ends up with. That's the first thing. And because that was the first time I'd ever written a comic book, which is so different than writing a movie script, I got a little comic book writing bug. And now I'm writing a series called The Never Never Kids. And it has nothing to do with Power Rangers, but these are superheroes. And I'm God willing, it will be coming out within a year or so. But yeah, we're almost done with the pitch deck. We already have the characters, all of that, but it's called The Never Never Kids. So be on the lookout. Actually, we have a website on it as well. So yeah, check it out.
Please send me all the links. I'm a super supporter, man. And to be honest, the heroes know I'm actually writing one myself called Ghost Division X. It's like supernatural meets, I don't know, Ghostbusters, something like that, right? And because I'm a huge supernatural fan. But man, for you, I'm gonna ask you a quick question. I'm sorry, I got I
You're
know you
fine.
gotta go,
You're
but
fine.
I want to ask you when you get writer's block, or if you get into a space where you're like, because I'm trying to create an epic story within like 34 pages, right? And I
Mhm.
want to like make it so impactful that the first issue can probably like pay for the second or the third and continue the story, so forth and so on, maybe with a Kickstarter or something. But the community knows we did one. Shout out to everybody that donated. We actually raised about almost $6,000 for this
Oh,
project. So, I'm stuck though at a point right now. And it's like, it's hard to give every character because, it's something like a team of characters, right? How would you personally go about that? Like giving each character in an issue at least a moment of shine and dedication.
I would I would reflect on my own life and some of the characters, some of the people that I've met, because God has given us so many people in our lives, whether it's somebody that's been there for 5 minutes or someone that's been there for years. And these characters probably represent someone that you've encountered in your life, if you can sit and think about that. I also get inspiration if I get a writer's block and so oftentimes I'll sit there and I'll pray and I'll ask God to help me with direction and he'll give me ideas that way. Or I'll just start watching television shows or movies and I start to get inspired. And creative with, oh my gosh, oh, I loved how they do that. But now if I put a spin to that and I make it my own, so I get inspired that way as well. Um, when I wrote Back to Bridgewood, it birthed from my own personal experiences. When I left Power Rangers, I did not, like most Rangers, did not have a series to go to right afterward. I didn't have a job. Nobody handed me a contract to a new television show. So I had to freaking figure it out. And, when I was filming Power Rangers, I was also a full-time student at UCLA. And that was one thing that I was so grateful for, that my mom said, Kia, don't quit college. And so I was full-time student at UCLA and filming 12 hours a day. And it was literally by the grace of God that I graduated, got my BA. But because of that, when I left Power Rangers, I started substitute teaching in the inner city. And that experience helped me write Class Dismissed, helped me write Back to Bridgewood, because a lot of those characters were loosely based off of some of the people I met in the school and some of the students that I met in the school. And I would just jot down things that, like, I'd be in class listening to some of these. So they would come up with these 10-year-olds would come up with these funny little antics. Whether it's I remember one of them, which doesn't even sound funny, like when you think about it, but I remember this kid being so broken because one of the other kids called her a trash digger. And I remember I wrote that down and I actually added it into one of my episodes in Class Dismissed because she was so hurt from it. And the kids were laughing, but I had to talk her through it. But it was like little things like that, little puns like that, that comedy wise would be great. But obviously I needed to make sure that the little girl was okay. But there were just so many experiences. So I would say, think about some of the experiences that God has given you, and even some of the shows that you've seen that have inspired you. And I think that could help you come up with some ideas, add some spins to what you've already seen. At least that's how it works for me.
Hey, I love the advice. Thank you so much, Nakia. And I gotta get a copy of that. Let me know. It's called the Never Never Kids, right?
Never Never Kids. Yes, we did have a sneak peek out. We still have a few copies of that. So we sold a couple of sneak peeks on Free Comic Book Day. And Back to Bridgewood, my movie, is streaming on Apple, Amazon, Tubi, basically every platform but Netflix. It's called Back to Bridgewood. And you were asking earlier, where can people find me? I'm on Instagram, Nakia Burrise. My Facebook page was hacked a few months ago, and so I never gained access back to my personal page that links to my fan page. So my fan page is still out there. It's linked to my Instagram. So whatever I post on Instagram goes straight to my Facebook. But unfortunately, I can't go in and comment under that fan page. So the fan page is nakia.burrise. And then obviously I have a website, Nakia Burrise, and Power Rangers Playback is Power Rangers Playback YouTube channel, and Power Rangers Playback website as well, where we have merchandise and stuff available. And Patreon, we have a Patreon, and we have YouTube channel membership as well. So Patreon is patreon.com/Power Rangers Playback. And then if you go to our YouTube channel, you can just press join if you want to become a...
definitely. Heroes, please, man. All links will be provided for you. I'm going to get all the links. Hit those links, man, in the bottom. I know I am, because I still want to get that Zeo joint I seen on IG that you posted. It's like a hologram where it's you, and then you tap and it's like that. I thought that was so cool, man. I got to get that. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Heroes, please, man, as always, support by just simply commenting. And if you choose, subscribing to the channel. Nakia, thank you so much for coming on the show. God bless you. Thank you. And heroes, please, as always, don't forget to love yourself, pass that love on and love others. And if nobody told you so, just know your boy love you. Voice of the Heroes, signing out.
Sing it with me.